All right, what's going on, family? It's your boy Pop, and we're here again for another amazing episode of Creative Conversations. I love these episodes because we get the opportunity to be able to highlight small business owners who are doing some amazing things who just need visibility. They have great services, they have great products, and they deserve to be known. So today, I have a very special guest, and she's just a gem. I think you go fall in love with her, right? So let's get into the episode. Hello. Miss Rosemary Sauer, but I'm gonna call you Rosie. Okay.
Please do.
And it is so nice. Well, first of all, it was a pleasure to meet you. Okay.
And you
we
too.
are here. We are building mates right here in building 210 and switch 210 right here in the heart of White Plains. And you are the owner of Scarsdale Ballet Studio.
That's right.
Which is right downstairs on the first floor. I have to say, when we first came into the building, I think I got lost and I bumped into the studio. I was like, wow, they have a ballet studio in here too. Like I was like, wow, what don't they have in this building, right? And so it's just, but I never, we just met a couple of days or last week, right?
That's
So
right.
I'm so thankful that you have taken the time to come on to Creative Conversations.
Of course.
So we're just gonna relax and just have a great conversation, right? So firstly, I always believe that in order for us to be able to really kind of appreciate where you are, we have to go back a little bit, right, to understand the history and kind of what got you here. So I like to call it your origin. So so where are you from? Where are you from? And
So
let's start there.
Okay, so I'm from England,
Okay.
from Surrey in England.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Now, when did you come? When did you come to the States?
So I came with my family about 23 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually 25 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, when you came, did you come straight to Westchester? Did you go to? Did you like
Well,
when you came?
we first we ended up in New York, in Manhattan.
Okay.
First of all, we lived there for about 4 years.
Okay.
And I have a son who is 2.5 years old, and so that's where we were to
Yeah.
begin with. And then we looked for a house, a property in Westchester.
Oh, nice. And here you came. Now, how did you
right.
when you first so coming from England now coming into New York, was it a culture shock? Like how was that transitioning?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were here in January, and I'd never seen so much snow in all my life.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't prepared for the amount of snow. On one particular day, I remember taking my son to a play group that was all the way down past Central Park.
Okay.
And then people were just running and going home. And I was like, well, it's not too bad, is it? It's just a little bit of snow.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And by the time I got home, my poor son was just full.
It's like a little
We were
snowman.
just drenched.
Wow. So
It was a shock.
Yeah, I
That
can
was
imagine.
Yeah,
I can
definitely
imagine.
a culture shock.
I can imagine.
Well, it's not a culture shock. Cut that bit out.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous.
You know, it's all right. But no, I can imagine how that transition could have, I'm always interested because particularly when people are coming from even, particularly different countries, or if they're coming from different lands, it's like, coming here and having to now, landing here and then now having to understand everything that's going on and having to make adjustments, but not necessarily having a lot of information. Like it could be overwhelming. So I'm always interested to know how people's journey was, particularly when, coming to the States if they weren't born here.
Yeah, we were in London, but then to come into the heart of
Yes.
Manhattan was a bit of a shock,
Yes.
It was, it's so much, it's so busy and
Yeah,
so
a lot
many
of people. Yes, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, a lot of personalities, a lot of things that you have to get used to like right away. You know what I mean? Like right away. So well clearly you really took it Well, right? You decided to stay. You didn't, right?
Yeah,
You didn't go
well,
back. You
we
didn't go
only
back.
planned to stay 3 years, but
Really?
yeah,
And you ended up sticking
25 years
around.
later, yeah.
Interesting. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what kept you here?
I don't know, I guess we just got, we just started to enjoy our lives here.
I like it.
The people, and we just wanted to stay.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. And well, and you said when you guys came, you had a two. Your son was 2.
He was 2.5.
He was 2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
So at that, I mean, I can imagine too, as he's growing, and if he's kind of starting to, what do they say, lay roots, if you will, you know what I mean, and starting to build relationships and have friends and stuff like that. I mean, I know that could also be a challenge as far as, okay, well, I don't want to uproot him from here now that he's starting to kind of get used to it. You know what I mean? So, this parent thing is always, it's always a bag of interesting things, right?
Absolutely.
But so you come from London, land in Manhattan. You were in Manhattan for a couple of years.
We just there for 4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 4 months in Manhattan, and then you came to Westchester. Okay. How was that trend? Because even from the city to Westchester is a huge. That's even a huge transition.
Big change again. Yeah, no, it was more because it was a what do you call it? It's very urban.
Yes.
And a nice suburb just outside of Manhattan. We still had Manhattan there.
Yeah.
So we had that advantage. We could just go down to Manhattan whenever we wanted. So we wanted that connection.
Yes.
Still,
Yeah.
which was great. And we were in a lovely suburb, and we just loved it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Lovely,
That's beautiful.
Lovely neighbours.
Yeah.
And people are very neighbourly here.
Yes.
Not like in England.
Yeah. Okay.
I think people are quite distant sometimes at first, but people are very warm and neighborly here.
Now I like that. I like that, and I mean, and
really
particularly when
enjoyed that.
raising a family, I mean that helps. You know what I mean? That all of that really helps.
Absolutely.
That really helps. There's a saying that my father actually would say all the time. It takes a village, right? And so that's very, very, very important to that's I think it's a very underrated element and aspect of life. Understanding how important your support system in your village is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you all were able to find that. That's excellent. That's excellent.
And then my husband is a soccer coach, so he's very passionate about soccer.
Okay.
So he started teaching both my kids, so my daughter came later. I have a daughter as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so they were both heavily into soccer and they still, my son still does it now as a hobby, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely, positively. I mean, and those memories too, right? Those memories. So like my son likes to draw. I mean, he's an artist, and I've been drawing. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I was 8 years old. And so that's something that him and I share. And then to your point too, I play basketball as I got older. So my younger son is more athletic. So that's something that him and I get a chance to really kind of.
It's very special. Isn't
Exactly.
It? Yeah.
Very much
important.
So. Very much so. And it's you don't really understand the bond that is really establishing at the time. You know what I mean? But those are memories that they're gonna have forever and ever. So that is awesome. That is awesome. So
and I also like the fact that they were in a team, and that built comradeship and friendships, and they still have those friends now, which is great.
You know what? You know what is interesting that you say that, Rosie? Same with me. Like I played basketball, elementary school, middle school, high school. Did not so much when I went to college. But those same relationships from a lot of the same guys we stayed in contact with, and some of them are my best. Well, about 2 or 3 of them are best friends to this day. You know what I mean? I mean some 30-something years later. But that is a key aspect of sports. It's just not just necessarily just the actual act of performing the sport. It's to your point. It's a lot more. It's team building. It's self-esteem building. It's relationship building, and all of those things are foundational and fundamental to anything that you end up doing. Right.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. That's awesome. Now, I want to know. when did you start to dance? Are you clearly you're a dancer. When did ballet become something that you
Well,
enjoyed?
Well, both my older sisters danced, so
Really?
I was really eager to dance myself. I was
Okay.
just very athletic as a child. I
Okay.
used to climb trees and
Oh yes.
cycle
Oh yes.
for hours. I would
Yeah.
do that with friends. We'd go around the village and
Yeah.
around a wooded area that
Okay.
was right behind us. So I was always active. I had to be active. So
Gotcha.
when my older sisters started ballet classes, I thought, well, I have to do it. I have to do it.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's no brainer. You got to do it.
That's me. I've got to do that as
Yeah.
well as my cycling and my climbing trees. And I was, yeah. So I was 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was 7. And then we moved to another area when I was 9. So I
Okay.
started going to another ballet school, and this ballet school, the teacher just said to my parents, you should send her to a professional school, go and audition her for this, 3 top ballet schools
Yeah.
in England at the time. So I got into one of them that I really liked. So that's how it happened, really. So when I was 11, I went to a boarding school.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, man, okay. So
Am I racing?
no, not at all. No, not at all. Because I want to I just want to stay right here for a second, because clearly, I mean, you being athletic, clearly this was something that came naturally to you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I don't know a lot about ballet, right? I mean, I've watched a few and, and as we talked about, my daughter's interested in it. But as even I looked in the class that you allowed my daughter, and I thank you again for allowing my daughter to come
Oh,
in
no
on the
problem.
class.
It's a pleasure.
As I watched them, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of discipline. There is a lot
Oh,
of
gosh.
detail. There is
So much discipline.
it's not
Yeah.
something that you do if you don't like it. Like
Right.
even if you're
Very
naturally
true.
good at it, if you don't like it, it's not something that you're going to do, because it requires it's so many details and nuances that
Yeah.
come along with doing it well.
Yeah.
What was so clearly you were naturally good at it, but what was it that really made dance or ballet stick to you so much, or pique your interest so much, that you were willing to even do it despite all of the other things, I'm sure, the countless hours of practice and all of that type of stuff? Like what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna give it my all?
I think it was just it was many things actually. It was just the ability to be able to focus so intensely
Wow.
on this one thing. And then you've got the music that I really, really love. So anything with music, if you combine movement and music together,
Yeah.
is just it just feels so wonderful
Wow.
to dance, with music.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah,
What
to do
what
all of that together.
Together,
really.
yes.
And it requires a lot of concentration, and I just love that, to be so involved, so intensely involved.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be in it, to
Yeah,
actually
to
to allow it
really-
to allow yourself
yeah.
to be consumed by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
really,
yeah.
really consumed.
I
Yeah.
like that. I
it's
like that.
huge. It's really huge.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you learn this technique, and you just you have so much control over your body. I
Yeah.
think that's what I love
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
The control of what I could do with my body. I could make myself, I could lift my leg, I could jump
Yeah.
as high as I like.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just be so free. It makes you feel very free. And yeah,
Wow.
I think all of that, there's nothing like it.
Yes. No. I sound. And you know what's interesting, Rosie? As I'm looking into your eyes, as I'm looking at you, I can, as you're saying, as you're expressing the freedom that you experience, I could actually see it as I'm looking at you. I see the freedom that you experience. So I understand. Like, so now that made the connection. Like, okay, I understand now why, however many years later, you're still. I mean, you started at 7,
Yeah,
and
I
that you're
cannot
still
leave it.
that you're
Yeah.
no, you're not letting it go. That's awesome. That is awesome. So what is one of the, if you could, if you could kind of pull one up in your mind, what is one experience right, as you were dancing? What is one experience that really stood out to you, or sticks, or like really had an impact on you? Can you think of one?
Well, I think it was when I eventually joined a ballet company. It's the Israeli classical ballet, actually, I joined when I
Okay.
was 18.
Okay.
So when I was 18, the director of the company came to our school, and I was in London by then. I was in a school in London. And so she auditioned us. We just did a class, and that was the audition, really.
Yeah.
And she asked me to come, and I was just so young, really, at the time. But I just wanted to be in a ballet company. And when I got there, I started to learn Balanchine pieces. Balanchine, who is one of the founders of New York City Ballet, coincidentally.
Really?
So I kind of came back to my,
Wow.
not my roots, but
Yeah.
from my beginning of my career as a ballet dancer.
Interesting. Wow. Will you look at that? And
And
go ahead, please.
he influenced me so much because his choreography is just incredible. He was a genius. I mean, the pieces that he has choreographed, I mean, they're just beautiful. They're fabulous, and none of them had any meaning behind them. But they just didn't need any meaning. They didn't need to be about, a particular thing. It was just how they were put together. They were just incredible. The steps were just magical.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And you got a chance. So from that class, they saw potential in you and allowed you to allowed you.
Yeah.
Wow. How was that? How was that? Explain to me that feeling that you got. If you could remember, how was that feeling?
Gosh, it was just incredible. I just thought, this is something I need to explore.
Yeah.
This choreography, I need to explore this. I've got to keep doing this.
Yes.
And I know I'll be happy for
Yes,
the rest of my life.
that's right. I just keep doing this thing. Oh, I love that. I love that. So now after you've had that experience, now you're a part of that. Now, at what point did you transition now to come to New York? Now, when you came to New York, or when you came to the States, particularly in New York, did you start immediately? Were you still dancing at the time? Were you teaching
I wasn't.
it?
No,
Okay.
because I already had my son, and I got married 3 years previously to having my son. And then it was my husband's work, really, that brought us here.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, so
Got
he
you.
was offered a contract in Morgan Stanley in Manhattan.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And so there was a time period where you just after, was it? Oh, I would imagine kind of a little bit before your son and then after your son. So there was a time where you just weren't dancing at all. Now, were you still consuming it as far as were you still going to ballets?
I was so involved in being a mother,
Yeah.
and I then had my daughter 4 years later.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any time until my daughter was about 3, and then I started teaching just locally.
Got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Dobbsbury.
Wow. Okay. Now, and when you started to teach again, what did that do for you? Because I mean,
Well, I was new to teaching actually then.
so how was
Yeah.
so there's another transition. So how was that transition from, I mean, this is really for the most part what you built your life on, at least your young life on. And then now, you transitioned to motherhood. Can't necessarily do that as much anymore, right? Now your daughter gets to a certain age and you say, you know what? Here's an opportunity, a window of opportunity for me to be able to get back into what I love, right? From another, now this is from a whole nother aspect of it, because you were the dancer, now you're the teacher. What was that? What was that transition like?
That was interesting. Yeah, that was difficult at first.
Okay.
It's difficult teaching your own daughter as well.
Yes. Yeah, I can
That didn't
imagine.
really
Yeah, I can
work.
imagine. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It didn't work too well.
Yeah.
So no, I loved it. I mean, it was completely different, and I love to bring out the best in the students and help them grow. I mean, that's really, to me, very satisfying.
Yeah.
And I just love to see the kids grow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's such a wonderful reward.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that, that is another driving force, right? Because when you were younger, your sisters danced, you were influenced by that, you got into it, you said, man, like you had a natural talent towards it, and on top of that, it was something that allowed you to feel free, right? And so you were able to experience all of those things and have those experiences, and those things gave you the love for it when you were a dancer. So now that you're an instructor, the motivation factor is seeing the change and the growth and the transformation of the young people that you get a chance to be able to really serve with this gift that you've been given, right?
Right.
And so I can imagine, even though it was difficult at times, when you're seeing that growth and you're seeing, the transformation in the students, that has to somewhat rival that invigoration that you had when you were dancing yourself. Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. See, I love, and I can see I'm an observant person.
Yeah, you are.
I'm very observant, and so when I came into the studio, and the young ladies were coming into the studio, and I was just kind of watching your interaction with them, I was like, okay, I see. The way that you smile at them as they came into the door, the way that you invited them in, the way even you kind of set the atmosphere for them to come in and get comfortable and get ready to rehearse, because I know that you have a big show coming up this weekend. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I see that not only is this what you do, but this is truly what you love, right? And you get a chance to, and you love being able to do it with these young ladies that are coming in here, and they're getting an experience that they're never going to forget.
Right. Yes, that's very true.
And that's a beautiful thing, Rosie. That's
very special.
A gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah.
So you're not just an instructor, but you're a gift giver.
That's true. Very nicely put.
Yeah. You're a gift giver. Yeah. And so tell me, just in your everyday, and but no, we have to back up a minute, because now, fast forward, you have Scarsdale Ballet Studio. Now, from what I understand, from what we talked a little bit off camera last week, that wasn't, you didn't first start the studio yourself, right?
No, it was originally founded by Diana White and Christian Claessens.
Okay.
So that was about 3 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. So it's been around for a while.
So Diana White was in New York City Ballet for 20 years. She was a soloist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And then her husband at the time was also a dancer.
Oh,
so they decided, they were sort of in their 30s, mid-30s, so they decided to open their own school, and they opened it in Scarsdale.
Oh, okay.
Which is why it was called Scarsdale Ballet Studio.
Yeah.
Actually, just down the road to here.
Really?
Down Central Park Avenue.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then they moved to Eastchester, and that was just before, until just before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, because when the pandemic hit, they actually lost their lease. They had to leave the studio. They had to leave the location.
Okay.
So we relocated to here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after we relocated to here, Diana, who is a repetiteur, for Balanchine.
Okay.
She she was with New York City Ballet for 20 years. Wow. And she actually worked with Balanchine, who was the founder of New York City Ballet. Right. So
who you were influenced by.
Yes,
who you were influenced by.
Yeah, which was really strange connection how it came around.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So so when she decided she didn't want to continue with the school, she just wanted to do his work and be a repetiteur.
Oh, got it.
Which means she goes around the world staging his ballets.
Really?
Yeah, it's a fascinating job. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, because he just chose 12 people.
Really?
And and she was one of the 12. So there was a trust that was set up.
Yeah.
So she goes all around the place, and that's her dream, really. So by the time, you know, we'd relocated to here, she was just entering another phase of her life, and she just came to me and just said, would you take it over? So
Wow. And and you
so,
said yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, Rosie. Okay. So we have.
So I think we skipped a bit because when I told you I was teaching with my daughter in the class at a local, I just rented a studio and started my own classes. So I ran that for a little while, and then I decided to look for somewhere to teach instead. So I would have these more regular hours, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and I joined Scarsdale Ballet Studio in Eastchester when they were in Eastchester. So I worked at the school myself as a teacher for about 15 years.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And then Diana approached me and said, would you take the school
Would you take over?
Yes.
So, yet another transition.
Yes, another. Oh, that was a big one.
Yet another transition.
Yeah.
So
that was an exciting one. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Okay, so that's you have teaching your daughter, small studio, discover Scarsdale Ballet Studio, start to teach there for 15 years. And then the owner says, "Hey, look, I got another opportunity, but would you want to take over?" Now, initially, if you could remember, what was your reaction when she came and asked you that question?
Well, I mean, I was really excited at first. I thought, because I've always wanted to have my own studio.
Yeah.
You know, I have always wanted that. So I was excited, but then felt a bit daunted, really.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine.
There were just so many new things I needed to learn, and it's a different role. So all the teachers that I was, who were my peers, would then be my employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big changeover.
Wow. What were some of the things that you can say, if you can identify maybe one or two things? What was one or two things that you felt that you had to learn immediately in order to begin to function in that capacity? What would you say?
I just had to learn how to run a ballet school, how things worked.
Yeah.
And the system, the deadlines involved. And then it was managing people. How do I deal with managing all my peers?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But what happened was I was, on the same level, I guess, as them, but then I appreciate them so much more.
Yeah.
Now, in my position, I see them completely differently.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, you're really doing a good job.
Yeah.
And, I see that side of them. I'm like, that is amazing. And I really appreciate everything that they do, because I know what it's like. I still do it now. But,
that's it.
I have some wonderful teachers. They're amazing.
And you can connect with them because you've been there.
Yeah.
Right? You can connect with them because you've been there. So your approach is you're not coming to them from a place where it's kind of distant, where you didn't have a relationship with them, where you didn't kind of know what they're going through or what it takes in order to do what they do, because you've experienced it on both ends of the coin. You've actually been a dancer. Now you were an instructor for 15 plus years. So now you can appreciate them because you know exactly where they've been. And I think that as I'm just thinking about it, that is such an asset, right? To be able to be in that type of position. That is such an asset to be in that type of position, because you can really speak to them and where they are. And so that's awesome. That is awesome. And for you to also be able to have the compassion, right? It's not boss employee. It's no, we we speak each other's
Work
language.
together.
We're
Yeah.
together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so I can imagine that even though it might have been challenging, being able to build a culture of support and build a culture of, encouragement, I'm sure didn't come necessarily hard. It might have took some time, but I'm sure it wasn't,
did.
wasn't a hard transition.
Yeah.
At least I
Yeah.
hope not.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Look, I think embracing it, being willing to actually show up every day, and not to sound cliche, but it's the truth. If you are willing to show up every day, you're going to learn something, right? You're going to learn something. You're going to come across a situation or a circumstance or an individual. You're going to learn something, right? Either you're going to be able to pour into them, they're going to be able to pour into you, or even if it's not necessarily the nicest of interaction, it's still an interaction that you can learn something from, right? And so it's just showing up sometimes and being willing to do that is really so underrated, And so I think to your point, I believe you're evolving because you've committed to it, right?
Right.
You've committed to the process of learning and becoming and continuing to strive to be
Yes.
better. And
Yes,
because
yes.
of that, and you're showing up willing to do that. So quite naturally, you're going to slowly but surely begin to see yourself becoming. And it's like, whoa, hold on. When did I get that skill? Like, when did that become something that I can do? Right? You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, I actually didn't think I was capable of doing it. Like,
Wow.
I was like, Diana had more faith in me than myself at the time. But I have gained confidence, and I've realized that I can do it, and
Yes.
it will work. And relationships have changed positively,
Good.
and I don't want to be, and I'm not a tyrant or not that kind of a director. I just want to, if I want things to change, I'd rather they were done, they are done in a nice way,
1,000%. And which is nothing wrong with that. And what's interesting as you're talking is that I'm just thinking how Diana had faith in you, right? And she was able to see something in you that maybe you weren't able to see in yourself. And it was through the you kind of going through the process that you've become confident, became more confident, right? And a lot of those things you're imparting now into the students that you have. You may, they may not necessarily think that they're good at ballet, right? They may be nervous, right? But you are seeing something in them that maybe they don't see in themselves at that time.
Yeah.
And by you compassionately holding their hand through the process, they're building confidence, right? And so I think that's also a really, really, really cool, again, gift that keeps on giving, right?
Thank you.
So this is so it's like you've been in the short kind of timeline that you gave me. It's been transitions, but figuring it out. And then what you've learned, you've poured into the next transition of your life. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
And that is really, really cool, Rosie. First of all, I want to thank you again for this opportunity, because this is awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, positively. My last question to you is, we are entrepreneurs, right? And a lot of the times what I find, particularly in the social media space, because that's where I am, entrepreneurship is kind of glorified to a point where it's like it's always an upside, never a downside. And I think a lot of the audience that'll be watching, being small business owners, I think it's very important for us to understand that there is a challenge that comes along with it, right? And so there's ups, but there's most certainly downs. And so the question that I have for you is, when things are down, what are some of the things that you kind of rely on, lean on, to help you through the challenging times in entrepreneurship?
My husband. Wow. He's wonderful.
Yeah, that's good.
He really, just levels my emotions sometimes. If I'm getting upset about something, he'll help me with that.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about the school and about where it's going and what it, we need to be, how we need to approach every situation.
Yeah. Well, kudos to your husband.
Yeah,
as far as
no, he's wonderful.
Being able to support you, because again, that's important when you're going through those challenging times in entrepreneurship.
He's a huge support. Also, Diana, she is wonderful, and she's like my mentor.
Okay.
Because she's held the school for 30 odd years.
Yes.
She's been in my situation,
1000%.
my exact situation. So. I learn a lot from her. She's told me a lot of things that really help my situation. And I want to, keep the legacy of the school as well by remembering that it came from Balanchi.
Yeah.
So something really cool happened, actually. There's a really beautiful dancer, Miriam Miller, in New York City now. She's just been made a principal.
Really?
And she contacted me and asked me if I had any availability, because she's free on Mondays. And she lives very close by. So she's actually going to be teaching next year on Mondays.
Wow. Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's really brilliant.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm so pleased.
Wow. See, those, man, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
No,
it's very
really
special,
exciting.
That we have her, and she's absolutely wonderful. She's a wonderful teacher, and she wants to get some more experience.
Yeah.
Because she's dancing. She's still very young, and she's dancing all the time, but she's wonderful. Wow. Yeah, so she'll actually be teaching the adults in the morning.
Nice.
And then the higher level students in the afternoon.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you. Thank you. Look, in challenging times, you lean on your support system.
Oh, absolutely.
Your mentor, your husband.
Yeah, that's Diana, so important.
Your mentor.
I have them lined up.
That is a good. That is such a
I'm
good.
very lucky. Yeah.
That's such good advice, right?
And also some of my teachers, they're just wonderful. They've got fantastic advice, and they've been teaching for years and years and years. Some of them longer than me. So, it's really, I have a great support system, I feel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A great village, right? Full circle moment.
Yeah.
Right? Full circle moment. You have a great village.
Yeah,
you have a great village.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is awesome, because someone who's listening, right? Someone who's watching. If you don't have to go at this alone, right? Get yourself a community of people who know either what you're doing or have done it, right? And get yourself in the proximity of those people, because so in this way, when you do have challenging times, you have a shoulder to be able to lean on. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it by yourself.
No, you don't have to be alone. I don't think anyone should be alone.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Tell me, as we close out, so you have adult classes. The studio has adult classes.
Yes.
How young do you start your students, and what's the age range? Tell us a little bit more about what you got going on in the studio.
So I start from the age of 18 months, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
quite recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We have the little babies in
beautiful.
It's called Grown Up and Me class with Miss
beautiful.
Yukiko
Okay.
Matsubara.
Okay.
Who's a wonderful teacher. So she teaches that age up until 3, and then at age 3 they come into the regular classes.
Okay.
Until 18.
Wow.
Then they fly away.
Wow. So literally, they're journeying with you throughout their entire lives, really. At least their their early childhood into teenage.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's awesome though, right? Those are one, formative years, and two, that is that's something that then becomes ingrained in just who they are. And all of the discipline that they're learning there, I'm sure that then spills out and translates into every other area of their lives.
Translate absolutely into every other aspect, their academic work.
Yeah.
Because they have to focus and make themselves, improve themselves and listen to the corrections, and they can't talk. They've got to just focus for all that time, which
Yeah.
nowadays is really, as we know, it's really
tough.
hard to do.
Tough. Yeah.
With phones and
Yep.
devices galore. Yeah.
So that is, oh man, that's golden.
It's another. It is.
No, it's
it's
golden.
really golden because they focus on their relationships. You know, with the girls, other girls as well, and a few boys.
Yeah.
I do need some more boys.
You do need some. Okay.
I need boys.
Okay.
How about your sons?
I'm gonna say I might volunteer my sons. I mean, particularly my youngest son, because he's already very athletic. So him being able to kind of explore that, because there's a lot of I was actually in my research, I realized that there's a lot of pro athletes that do ballet.
Yeah. Soccer players.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's so strengthening. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the balance, I had no idea. I had no idea. So I was like, oh, okay.
And as you age, it's also fabulous for memory. It wards off Alzheimer's, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It does a lot. Yeah. And it helps socially as well.
Yeah.
You know, as you get older.
Yeah.
You want to build at any age, it can be 70, 80, and come and do a ballet class. Yeah.
The possibilities are endless. The
Yes.
possibilities are endless.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Rosie, you've been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
You've been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so
talking
much.
To you too.
Yes, thank you for listen. We might have to do this again.
I'd like to.
I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate the gifts that you're giving to our babies. That is going to last with them forever and ever. And I'm sure they're going to be a whole lot of them that'll turn around and instruct as well and teach it as well. So it'll be a gift that continues to keep on giving. And I'm so happy that you answered the call to do that, right? I'm really happy that you answered.
Me.
Oh, sure, 100%, 100%. So let the people know where they can find you, website, Instagram, Facebook. Let them know where they can find you. And of course, we'll be putting this up on YouTube. So I'll make sure all the information is in the description, but just let the people know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you want me to say now?
Yeah. Just Website, Instagram. Where can they find you?
Scarsdaleballetstudio.com. At scarsdaleballetstudio.com is at Scarsdale Ballet Studio is the Instagram
handle. Okay.
And Facebook.
Okay.
And our website www.scarsdaleballetstudio.com.
There you go. There you go.
That's
there you
it.
go. There you go. There you have it.
You know what I forgot to mention?
Talk to me.
A very special person who is actually a ballet dancer, came into the adult classes, and she's a podiatrist. So after the ballet classes with the adults, we all started talking about, our issues that we have with our feet, and she was helping everyone. She was saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. So she was actually a surgeon and worked in Montefiore Hospital for years and years. But her dream was to be a ballet podiatrist. And there's nothing out there for podiatrists just treating ballet dancers.
Yeah.
Right? There's just nothing. But there is a need for it.
Wow.
So after we got talking, I just thought, you've got to be my podiatrist.
Yeah.
You've got to be my podiatrist. I want you to treat all of the girls, And so now that's what she's doing. And I we have one little spare room.
Yeah.
And we turned it into an office for her, and it has a bed, it has all her equipment.
Amazing.
Yeah, so she treats everyone. And every dancer, as soon as I see or a dancer comes to me and says, oh, I've hurt my toe, I'm like, you go and see Dr. Ruffin now.
What?
You go and see her, and this is her dream. This is her dream to do this. So she's so sweet. She was so excited about it. And she actually got an overall and embroidered ballet podiatry on it, Dr. Ruffin, and so she's there, and she has a special appointment way of making appointments, And she's got her own website, so you can go on her website from our website.
Okay, I will make sure I link her information
All
in
about
this too.
her on our website, and she evaluates students for point work,
Wow.
which is a really big issue. I feel anyway, as a director, to know that your students are safe.
Yes.
You know, it's so important. So she takes that burden off my shoulders.
Wow.
So she gives them an hour-long evaluation, and she'll let them know either yes or no. She puts a number on each exercise she does for them, and then adds it all up at the end. And if they haven't reached a certain number, then they haven't passed the test, and that's it. You know, they have to be a certain age. So, you know, and then she'll recommend certain exercises. So I've had some kids who do the evaluation and they don't pass, and then 4 months later they pass because they've done the exercises that they personally require.
Yeah.
Are required. Yeah. Okay. So,
Rosie, that my mind is blown. But it doesn't surprise me because, again, I told you, you're a gift giver. So you pursued your dream, and you gave Dr. Ruffin an opportunity to be able to pursue her dream through yours.
She has. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It's wonderful.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Man.
And I don't know if I should say this, but you know, I'm not making a penny from it. It's not that I'm benefiting because she's helping all the students, and that benefits me. Yeah. For instance, last week there were 2 students who were injured, and so I said, you know, one of them she's got solo, she's doing so much next week. Yeah. So I said, go and see Dr. Ruffin now. Yeah. You know, and she's always, you know, telling you how to look after yourself. She gives workshops. She teaches the kids.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
All of that. Yeah. So they're understanding how to look after their own bodies, their own injuries. You know, go and do something about it straight away. Yes. And don't let it linger. You know.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, she saw her, and now she's in a boot for 3 days.
Okay.
But if she hadn't have seen her, she's strained her big toe. It's only a big toe, but she can't dance.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so she'd be okay now.
Yeah. What? Oh gosh, Rosie, that is. But I'm just fascinated by what you're providing, right? This is not so. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is not, you're not just operating just a studio. This is a place for people to learn, to grow, and to be able to get the knowledge and information that they need and the care that they need in a safe environment. And you created a community of people who have the same vision as you and have the same passion or have that same passion. You can't lose there. You can't lose with that.
Hopefully not.
That's a winning formula.
Yeah.
For the students to be able to not just to learn dance, but to learn how to take care of themselves. That is. Yeah. Who does that? You know what I mean? Like that is beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful, Rosie. Oh my goodness, this was. If my mind wasn't blown already, you've blown it again.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You've blown it again. So good. So listen, if y'all got to tap in. Y'all got to tap in with Rosie. Okay, you have to tap in with her. As you see, she is an amazing individual. She has amazing individuals in her as folks that she works with, as her employees, as her instructors, as her advisors. She also truly cares for our children. And so if you have children who are interested in dance, or particularly ballet, you have to reach out to Rosie at Scarsdale Ballet Studio and get yourself in the environment of people who actually care, not just for you to come through the door and learn a dance, but who actually care about the growth and the transformation of the gift that we have called our children. So I am so happy, first of all, and grateful that you decided to tune into another episode of the Creative Conversations. And listen, we got more to come, so stay tuned. Love you. Talk to you in a minute. Peace. And there it is.